I paid $200 for an abandoned storage unit. What I found inside cost a man his freedom, and it had nothing to do with money. I buy storage units for a living. When someone stops paying rent, the facility auctions off whatever is left, and people like me bid on a locked door without ever seeing inside. Most units are junk. Broken furniture, old clothes, a treadmill someone swore they would use. You learn to expect nothing, because hope is how you go broke. This unit was different the second I opened it. No furniture, no clothes, just boxes, stacked in perfect rows, all the same size, all labeled by hand with dates going back 40 years. Whoever rented this place was not storing their life. They were hiding it. I opened the first box. Cassette tapes. Hundreds of them. Each one numbered and dated. Each one in a little case with a name written on the spine. Not music. I could tell because the labels had things like Session 14 and Follow Up and Do Not Erase. The second box was the same. The third. By the time I reached the back wall, I had counted over 2,000 tapes, and my hands were shaking because I had started to understand what I was looking at. They were recordings of people, conversations, and the man who made them had kept every single one. Now, most people would have called the police right then. I almost did. But I am a curious person, and curiosity is a kind of sickness, so instead I drove home with a box of tapes and a cassette player I bought at a thrift store for $4. I told myself I would listen to one. Just one, to know what I was dealing with. The first tape was a man talking to a woman about her marriage. He was kind, patient. He asked good questions, and he let her cry. It sounded like therapy, and for a moment I relaxed, because the world has therapists and therapists keep records, and maybe this was just a strange but innocent thing. Then the woman said his name, and I recognized it, because 3 years ago that name was in every newspaper in the state. He was not a therapist. He had never been a therapist. He had spent 11 years pretending to be one, with a fake diploma on a real wall, charging real people real money to tell him their deepest secrets. When he was finally caught, the case collapsed. No records, his lawyer said. No proof of what was discussed. Just the word of a few embarrassed clients against a man with a confident smile. He walked. I was sitting on 2,000 tapes of proof. Here's the part one think about most. I did not feel like a hero. I felt sick. Because every tape was a person at their lowest moment, trusting a stranger, and now that moment lived in cardboard boxes in my garage. I could destroy them and let a con man stay free. Or I could hand them over and expose 2,000 strangers all over again. This time to lawyers and reporters and the whole machine. I called a lawyer I trust. She told me something I have never forgotten. She said the tapes were not mine to protect or destroy. They belonged to the people on them. So we did it the slow way, the right way. We found the clients first, one by one, and asked each of them what they wanted. Some said burn it. Most said use it. A few cried on the phone the way the woman cried on tape, because for years they had wondered if anyone would ever believe them. And now the answer was yes. The case reopened. This time it did not collapse. He is serving 9 years, and the diploma on his wall, the fake one, sits in an evidence locker next to a box of cassette tapes labeled in his own handwriting. He recorded everything because he thought he was untouchable. He thought no one would ever open those boxes. He was almost right. I still buy storage units. Last month I opened one full of broken furniture and a treadmill, and honestly, I was relieved. I do not want to find another door like that one. People ask if I got a reward. I did not. There was no money in those boxes, no treasure, nothing to sell. I spent $200 in 6 months of my life, and I made nothing. But one of the clients, the woman from the first tape, sent me a letter after the trial. She said for 11 years she believed she was crazy. She said hearing her own voice on that recording, calm and clear and finally believed, gave her back something she thought was gone for good. She did not name it. She did not have to. It was the truth, and it had been sitting in a locked room the whole time, waiting for someone curious enough to open the door.